Season 1 of Black Ops Cold War. An interesting time to consider because with the limited amount of content that we have right now, based off of launch, at least on the MP front, a lot of people are rightfully looking forward to that next launch of sorts for some new content, to perhaps fill out the game a little further. And while we're just a few days away from Nuketown's reintroduction into the Black Ops Cold War, we're still learning a bit more about Season 1, despite being a little further away from that. And today I want to detail the new content that we learned about and let you know what you need to about Season 1. So that said, as we go along, what are you hoping to see within Black Ops Cold War's first season in a few weeks' time? Any weapon you want to see introduced, any maps, any operators, you name it. Let me know your thoughts and what you'd like to see. As well, if you are new to the channel, we're on that road to 400,000 subscribers, so if you'd like to stay up to date with all things Black Ops Cold War, Warzone, and anything else related to COD, we'll keep you in the loop with all of it. If you're interested in joining the community, I'd love to have you. That said, let's talk about Season 1's new info. Recently, a bit of information was dug up by data miners in Black Ops Cold War. The information we'll first discuss here today comes from Twitter user TailsDoll, who we've mentioned their findings in previous games beforehand. Their track record is there, but as always with data mined assets and content, we cannot show these items as they're still intellectual property of Activision, Treyarch, and Raven. So I can leave the items mentioned linked in the description below, but here in the video, unfortunately, we won't be showing that. But dug up recently were a handful of items pertaining to the Season 1 Battle Pass, some cosmetics that we can see, a little bit of the map of Nuketown, some XP items, and even a little bit about Rebirth Island. But we'll get to that in a second. In relation to the Battle Pass items, we saw a handful of things from the game files pulled, such as XP tokens of varying denominations, weapon charms, a glimpse at some operator cosmetics, watch selections, and what was previously believed to be an associated weapon blueprint. Now, for the XP tokens, this is something that was a reasonable guess that we'd be seeing returning in the eventual Battle Pass, because it's a filler item, but still something that's useful depending on where you're at in your seasonal grind. These came with your standard XP tokens for your rank in the denominations of 15, 30, 45, and 60 minutes, but also there were tokens pulled for double weapon XP, which is a huge thing right now, given that even just yesterday we discussed how much a pain the weapon leveling is right now in Cold War, so this can help you out greatly for ranking up those weapons that you want to get done and over with quickly. Those additionally came in the way of 15, 30, 45, and 60-minute tokens. So to see both of those return, again, double XP tokens and double weapon XP, we kind of saw those coming and were probably to be expected, but those are now confirmed. Another thing that was pulled was that of some weapon charms we'll be seeing in the Battle Pass, including a Polaroid photo of Woods, Mason, and Adler dated for November of '81, where Mason and Adler have hair metal band hair, and Woods has an afro. So definitely an interesting picture to see. There's also one of a shuriken or a ninja star. There's a color blast grenade charm, and then two others that look like a Doritos chip, likely not for the Battle Pass, maybe included with those Doritos cosmetic promo codes from pre-launch. I didn't redeem any of those, so I don't know off the top of my head. But there's also a mannequin in an 80s tracksuit, which we'll circle back to in just a second, because that deals with something else that was data mined as well. We saw the inclusion of two skins for Adler, donning two different trench coats and fedoras, likely just different variations you can progress through in the Battle Pass, and also we saw ties to the watch system with one displayed in the game files. But that last part trips me up, those watches, because we know there's a lot of things in common between Modern Warfare and Cold War. That was the kind of basis of both of these games, is to share a unified progression, share systems so that Warzone can be those linking points, but watches were one of those things right now that are not in that shared pool of items. So this goes one of two different ways if you ask me. With Season 1, maybe we see these cosmetics like watches added in, which is equally likely, or we end up seeing some of these data mined items are possibly a part of a combined Battle Pass between Modern Warfare and Cold War, as strange as that sounds. But on second thought, it's not terribly outlandish to consider. Because think about this, we have a rank system updating with Season 1 in which progression is going to be unified in rank regardless of if you play Cold War, Modern Warfare, or Warzone. It will all progress towards a singular rank. That's been confirmed, that's officially what's stated. And additionally, it was said that progress in Modern Warfare would progress the primary Battle Pass in Cold War. So when you think of it in that way, wouldn't it make sense to earn at least some items for Modern Warfare while playing and progressing the Battle Pass, instead of if you were playing Modern Warfare progressing that Battle Pass and earning only items you'd be getting for a game you're not going to play? So while I think it's equally possible that watches could be added into Cold War, it also makes more logical sense, I think, to have rewards for both games as we see progression continue between the two in a shared environment. But I suppose I could be wrong on that, but that's a hunch I have here with this. There was also another image pulled from the game files for Rebirth Island, rumored to be a new Warzone experience, which we can clear up in a second and pinpoint a little bit further. And finally, there was also a new Howler blueprint data mined, but that was actually explained earlier today. That's not going to be a part of the Battle Pass, though it may provide a decent look at some of the cosmetics we'll see even as of Season 1 in the Battle Pass for camo art direction and things like that. But the Hauer Blueprint actually was a part of the Nuketown Personalization Pack, or more properly dubbed the Nuketown Weapon Bundle, which comes with a handful of different items, like the Last Stop Epic Shotgun Blueprint for that Hauer, 6 weapon charms, which includes that mannequin in the tracksuit, which we detailed a little bit earlier in the video, the Test Subject sticker, the Nuketown Legend emblem, and the Omnibus calling card. Now, the cool part about this is that this is actually free for anybody that's played the game so far. If you have Black Ops Cold War, so long as you logged on from when launch started up until tomorrow, the 20th, you end up earning this for absolutely no charge whatsoever, and it will just simply be credited to your account. This is something that was debuted earlier today and officially revealed, so that it's something to celebrate Nuketown ahead of schedule, so that you can jump into Nuketown 84 in style and have some stuff that matches thematically. So definitely something cool, but also if you haven't picked up Black Ops Cold War just yet, you're waiting a little bit. This actually comes immediately with every purchase of the game as well, up until December 4th at 2 a.m. PT. So just in time for Black Friday here if you're picking up a deal for yourself. But something that was pretty cool that was just dropped out of the blue, but also kind of nullifies 2 of those items that we saw data mined, because we saw that Hauer Blueprint data mined, we saw that tracksuit mannequin weapon charm data mined, so that stuff has a little bit of an explanation here with it. Now, additionally, it's rumored that we'll see 3 maps coming with Season 1, also Dune, Maul, and Apocalypse, but that was from an account called COD Cold War News, which admittedly, I don't know too much about who runs that. I don't know much of the legitimacy. It's the only place I've seen that reported so far, but I'd be on board for 3 new maps if that's actually the case. But that was the stuff that was data mined, the stuff that's rumored and leaked. But what else do we know about Season 1? Because there is still a little bit to kind of round out this discussion to give us the more broader picture. Firstly, we know that it's going to be launching on December 10th. That's an awkwardly positioned Thursday release, which is kind of strange given that most DLC launches happen on Tuesday. And if I'm not mistaken, the last time we saw that was years ago, maybe even well into when Xbox still had the exclusivity for map packs coming out a month early. So it's been quite a long time, if my memory serves me correctly, since we saw a Thursday release, but it is listed that we'll get more multiplayer maps and modes. Gunfight will be returning here with Season 1, so that'll be cool to see again, some of that shared progression and unity in terms of builds for the game between Modern Warfare and Cold War. New weapons will be coming, as we probably could have guessed. New zombies modes. It doesn't say a new map, unfortunately, but new modes coming. There's listed much more with what looks to be a new operator. And then the biggest thing here that I'm at least interested out of what we know here for this, because it's not so much standard for a traditional DLC offering, is what is listed as a classified Warzone experience. Above it has some stuff that is heavily redacted, but you can make out what is the tail end of Vozrozhdeniya Island. And for anybody that knows the lore in the original Black Ops storyline, Vozrozhdeniya Island is Rebirth Island. And if that piques your interest again, it's because we mentioned that is looking like what is going to be the new Warzone experience, a repurposed version of Alcatraz from Blackout, in which that is a smaller secondary map, presumably for Warzone and everyone to jump into. So that very well could be coming with Season 1 also. And that's something I'm incredibly looking forward to. But right now, that's what we know about Season 1, some new information and some stuff that is continuing on, giving us a little bit more of the picture as we progress on top of the stuff we already knew. So that's where we're going to wrap it up. Just wanted to talk to you guys about this here because I found it a little interesting that we see some of this stuff in the base build of the game and also still so far out from the Season 1 launch, even though it's not terribly far. It's a couple of weeks, which is substantial in terms of seeing items reserved for later. So that's where we're going to wrap it up. Love to get your thoughts and feedback down there in the comment section down below. Are you looking forward to anything in Season 1? Whatever it is, feel free to drop it. But hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you drop a like down below. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss a single thing regarding all things Black Ops Cold War, Warzone, and of course, Modern Warfare as well, and anything relating to COD. So if that interests you, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a single thing. If you also want to follow me over on Twitter and Instagram, those are the best places to get connected outside of YouTube, where I live on both those. If you guys want to strike up a conversation, ask me a question, whatever it may be, that link is down there in the description below. But said, thanks so much for watching. My name is Espresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care and peace.